What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 48 of Storm Gaming News Week. We have a couple of news to go over, some Game Informer interviews, and some surprise gameplay reveals of games that randomly came out of nowhere. So with that being said, let's get on with the news. This report comes from Gematsu. They have reported Dynasty Warrior 3 Complete Edition Remaster is delayed to an unknown date. This game was revealed during a PlayStation State of Play that happened last year, and it was set to release on March 19 of this year. But unfortunately, it looks like they're going to need more time to work on it, as it has been delayed with no new release date. Which I'm kind of curious what was the reason behind the delay. It could be for polishing, or it's because they didn't want to release next to Crimson Desert that is also set to release on March 19. That could be another reason also. And the reason why they probably didn't give a date, they're trying to see what games are going to be releasing this year that they could feel comfortable enough to release their game without having too much of a competition. Because as you may know, as of right now, we have Suros that's coming out in April. We got GTA, Marvel Wolverine, and Fable releasing sometime in the fall season. And we got Forza 6 releasing in May. Marathon is March 5th. So, as of right now, there are days open to release games. But for them to stand a chance, they want to release it next to a game that they will have less competition to deal with. If I'm willing to believe they're delaying it because of they don't want to release next to big hitter. But more than likely, the delay is for more longer time for polish, which is always fine to have. This was a pretty big surprise. We have people that was working on the Prince of Persia Sanitary remake that got canceled by Ubisoft coming and speaking out on the whole situation. This comes from the graphic designer and choreographer Hatem Araf from Cancel Prince of Persia The Sands of Time remake, and he tells about the game's cancellation. He previously worked on Assassin's Creed Mirage. His statement reads as, "I usually don't speak in these situations. I prefer to talk about achievements and finished projects. I rarely share my losses, but this time I felt needed to talk. The cancellation of Prince of Persia remake wasn't easy for me. I had contributed to specific choreography elements in the game and had been genuinely waiting for a long time to speak about it. After working on Assassin's Creed Mirage, this project was meant to be my second major video game experience. And losing that awaited moment wasn't easy. Still, these things happen. I understand that difficult decisions are sometimes necessary, and sincerely wish Ubisoft all the best with their other ongoing projects. Despite the disappointment, this experience pushed me to try new things and learn all along the way. I choose to believe it will make up for itself in another form." So that's it. Thanks for listening to me whining till the end, and wish me luck. Honestly, you're not whining. You're fully justified how you feel about how this game being canceled feel, because a lot of people been waiting for this for a very long time, and it sucks that it's never gonna see the light of day. I even seen people on social media even saying Ubisoft just release whatever version you have, because at this point they will play anything at this point. They don't care how what kind of state it's in, they just want to play it. And it's kind of sad because it literally sounds like the game was about to release. They were in the phase of just doing bug fixes and polishing. Like, everything was just done. And apparently there was a build and concept art of it from a 2024 build of it was circling around social media and on YouTube and stuff. But of course, Ubisoft did copyright takedown, so nobody could view what happened to them. But this graphic designer is not the only one that spoke about this. Someone who's reportedly had been the voice actor for one of the main characters for the Prince of Persia Sentai remake is Iman Ayaz. Sorry if I mispronounced their names. She is a voice actor from Canada, says she found out about a recent game cancellation through the media. While she didn't directly say what the game was, there is a belief that it was a Prince of Persia The Sands of Times remake. Yeah, she didn't say, unfortunately, but it kind of fall in line, especially the Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake was one of the big games that was supposed to release this year, but then got canceled. And reports say about the remake for Assassin's Creed Black Flag got supposedly is delayed until next year. But it is very unfortunate that this happened. Like, in her video, she says she spent 3 years of work on it. So I will post a link to her YouTube videos for you to watch it yourself. But I really hope she does find some work, or in some weird way, whatever work that she have done, that is able to come out for people to hear how she performed. A game called EX Voto has caused quite a stir for a certain player base on the Xbox community. Apparently, they put out a statement saying that the Xbox version of EX Voto is being cancelled. And this was the statement was said. It's an update about the Xbox version for 1348 EX Voto. We have an important update regarding the Xbox version of 1348 EX Voto. Soleto's team of 15 developers has been hard at work over the past few years to deliver a vision they are proud to call their own. 1348 EX Voto, an action-adventure game set in medieval Italy, which we revealed last summer at Gamescom. Today marks an important milestone in the journey as we announce that the game will be available on March 12, 2026 on PC and the PlayStation 5 consoles. While we previously announced the game would be released on Xbox consoles, we have unfortunate news that this is no longer the case. A release approaches for the indie team priority and constantly evaluate and sometimes must shift to deliver the best experience possible. With this in mind, we made the difficult decision to cancel the Xbox version to focus efforts on the PC and the PlayStation 5 versions of the game. We sincerely apologize to the Xbox players who were looking forward to experiencing this story. This decision was not taken lightly, but we believe this is the best path forward to create the world Soleto wants to bring to life. Dear villagers. Alright, so this caused quite a big stir for the Xbox player base, because some are even saying they're not even going to get the game out of spite, even though they most likely own a PS5 or a PC. So, which kind of made me believe if they really want to play this game, they have the methods to it, but they're just not going to, because they want to play on their preferred platform, which I could partially understand, especially if you mostly, I guess I could kind of understand it to some extent. But some of the thing I saw people were saying, it was kind of crazy to hear and stuff. Like, they're really trying to boycott the game and stuff. But I can't really blame the developers. There's only 15 of them. and they're trying to do what they can and stuff to even make the game. So it's unfortunate that it got canceled and stuff, because the thing, it sucks that it happened. This is not entirely a new thing. Like, we seen developers come out saying such and such happened. This version of the game is canceled. Like, this version of the game is canceled, or is gonna be delayed for a certain amount of time. Like it's nothing new. Like, we've seen it happen before. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that it does happen, but it is what it is. Like, hopefully the developers don't get too much of a backlash from this, and people are still good to try out the games, the ones who are looking forward to it. But we just gotta wait and see what happens. Some rumor reports claim that a state of play is planned for February. This comes from like Nate the Hate and Jeff Grubb, who, in my opinion, I say have been right with their predictions compared to others and stuff. So, could we potentially be getting a state of play for the month of February? It possibly can, especially if you look at the pattern that PlayStation do. Because we usually do get a state of play in the month of February and stuff. So, it's more likely it's will gonna happen. The question is, what's is going to be shown, because some people think, could this be the deep dive for Marvel Wolverine and stuff? In my opinion, I don't really think so, because they said spring, and it will be a little bit early, in my opinion, if they give us stuff about Marvel Wolverine and stuff. They could probably still show something about it. It will probably basically like how they did for Ghost of Yotai. They had a state of play. They showed off Ghost of Yotai, but they didn't really show anything. It was just announce. It was an announcement for Ghost of Yotai deep dive state of play that was gonna happen like in the next month when that state of play dropped and stuff. So if Marvel Wolverine does appear, it will probably be something like that. But honestly, I would be very surprised if they show us something for Marvel Wolverine. There could be some other games, probably Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3. What else they could show off? Hopefully Kingdom Hearts 4, some of these games that they have, the China Hero Project, or maybe they probably struck a deal with Xbox and Microsoft to have like Halo appeared on their state of play, which would be kind of crazy if they did that. But it's not something we haven't seen before, because they did that with Flight Sim 2024 when they showed off last year's state of play and stuff. So them showing a Microsoft game at their state of play is not out of the realm of impossibilities. It would just be kind of wild if like Halo is shown at the state of play. It would be kind of funny to see the comments on it, because even though Halo 1 remake is announced for the PS5 for this year and stuff, people still find it hard to believe that Halo is coming to the PlayStation platform, which I could agree. And so it's still a wild thing to see and stuff, but it just got to show like times have changed. Like we'll see what happened when we get into February, to see if Sony will acknowledge a state of play for the month of February. The games for the month of February for PlayStation Plus, there is Undisputed, Subnautica Below Zero, uh, Ace Combat 7, and Ultros. I played a little bit of Undisputed, the trial version. It's not the best boxing game and stuff, honestly, but it's alright. Like it is like an okay boxing game. Uh, People who's a fan of Subnautica, you're getting that. Ace Combat, I heard that it is pretty fun, and Ultros. Don't know much about that game. Um, might look into it and stuff. Overall, it was this month is it's a meh month, honestly, and stuff. Nothing too crazy. We'll see what others that'll be coming for next month for PlayStation Plus. According to Inside Gaming, Built Rocket Boy, who are the studio that created Mind Eye, are planning to announce they are part ways with their publisher IO Interactive. If you don't know Mind Eye, it was a game that was how can I describe it? I didn't really play it, so it was really hard to describe and stuff. But it did not. It would not represent in the best way in the media and stuff, especially with all the glitches, how the game works and all that. It looked like Rocket Boy would try to create their own version, like a GTA type of game, and it did not work out very well and stuff. So, yeah, I could understand why they're parting ways with the publisher IO Interactive and stuff because they definitely most likely lost a lot of money making this game. So it is unfortunate and stuff. But hopefully they could probably bounce back from this and stuff, and hopefully they'll have something else cooking in the pipeline. But yeah, it was a very bad game when it was launched. I honestly thought about getting the game because it looks cool and stuff. But when I looked more into it, I was like, yo, they added a whole bunch of unnecessary things to the game. I was like, yeah, I'll probably just go hold off on this game. And so hopefully it will be, gets better over time, or the studio will create a whole new game and stuff. But like I said, I didn't really play it for myself. I just saw all the crazy bugs and glitches and stuff, and it just wasn't my type of game. The more I looked into it, but the concept did sound pretty cool and stuff. It's unfortunate. Reports say that PlayStation is going to be releasing a PS Portal with an OLED screen for this year. Honestly, I've been wanting to get the PS Portal for a while, especially all the newest updates that came out for it that improved the overall experience of it and stuff. And now we're supposedly getting an OLED screen. I think I might as well wait for it, honestly. Like, I might as well, especially if it's like in a good price range and stuff. Yeah, so I think I'm probably just gonna hold on and get the OLED screen if it does turn out to be true that it is being worked on. But of course, we have to wait and see how that turns out. It's reported by Video Chronicles that Grand Theft Auto 6 physical copies could reportedly be delayed until after release to avoid spoilers. And honestly, I agree with Okami13 that I believe that is a very smart idea to do, especially when it comes to people potentially stealing the packages and stuff and revealing the contents of it online. We've seen it happen multiple times before when it came to Kingdom Hearts 3, Last of Us Part 2, What other game that they did it with? Starfield. Like, especially GTA 6 is going to be gonna be the biggest game. Well, one of the biggest games of 2026. Yeah, I would delay the physical copies of that game too and stuff. So Rockstar is definitely smart to do this. Honestly, like, it sucks for those who wanted a physical copy of it and stuff, but when it comes to a game that is most anticipated as this, it's better to be safe than sorry. I'm kind of curious what other game releases would do this also to avoid this headache and stuff. Because if I want to be 100% and stuff, potentially I could kind of see this happening to Marvel Wolverine and stuff. Especially people went out of their way to hack Insomniac and leaked a whole bunch of stuff for that game. So, like, honestly, it's not out of the realm of possibility and stuff. Just to avoid all the headache and stuff. Granted, it's more than likely they're not gonna do this. I just wouldn't be upset if they do it, if that makes sense. Apparently, Bloober Team, the group that's behind the Silent Hill 2 remake and Chronos, is planning something for February 14th. It says some things never leave the walls. They only learn to wait. With a very decryptive countdown for February 14th. What could this potentially be? Could this potentially be the remake for Silent Hill 1? Or could this be a potential new IP altogether? We honestly don't know what could Bloober Team be cooking and stuff. Honestly, like, the whole turnaround for them had been extremely positive after their latest releases that came out, and they basically proved to the fan base and the media they could do also work when it comes to a horror game aspect and stuff. Because I'll be honest, they did had a couple of bad games in the past and stuff, but it's definitely nice to see them make a complete turnaround. Like, they were fantastic with the Silent Hill 2 remake. Their game Chronos was received positively well, and people are hoping that they do continue this train of making some really good games and stuff. Of course, some people argue say like, well, technically, they already had the blueprint for Silent Hill 2. For Silent Hill 2, they just had to follow that and just remake the game and stuff. But the thing is, not all remakes are good and stuff. Because I believe it was Resident Evil 3 remake is literally, people have mixed feelings about that remake, honestly, and stuff. So not all remakes are good. It's just depending how you portray the said remake and stuff. And so far, Bloober Team had done a very fantastic job. And also, you gotta remember, Chronos is a brand new IP. So you can't really say they're only good at making remakes if they made that. So we just gotta wait until February 14th to see what this cryptid countdown that Bloober Team has planned for the gamers. Comcept, the studio that created Mighty Number 9, is officially shut down. And it's crazy because you got the person who either made or worked on the old Mega Man games tried to make Mighty Number 9 to recreate the magic of how Mega Man was made, and it did horribly. Like, I tried playing it and stuff, it was just overall a bad game. Like, they tried to make it like Mega Man, It just the gameplay mechanics and stuff in it. It just didn't work well. Like, it's unfortunate that their studio shut down. I don't know if they ever create anything else after, honestly, because I believe, if I remember, I believe Mighty Number 9 was a Kickstarter type of project and stuff. But yeah, overall, it is bad overall. Hopefully, the people who did work at the studio is able to find work elsewhere and stuff. But yeah, I'm honestly surprised they lasted this long. But it is what it is. Like, honestly, I want to be surprised when a studio gets shut down and stuff, but it's not. It's really not a surprise at this point. I'm just hoping this will be a very encouraging learning lesson for them, and hopefully wherever work they end up going to next, or somebody will hire them, will hopefully give them some work so they could have better resources to make some great games, because we definitely need that in this day and age when it comes to the gaming community. We have different gaming outlets that had hands-on previews with some games, and we have a interview with Koshi Nakanishi from Resident Evil Requiem. He is the director from Capcom. And one point in this interview, he talked about how they did the optimization for the PS5 Pro. And he says this: on the PS5 Pro, ray tracing can be turned on and off. With it enabled, players can enjoy the game in 4K at 60 FPS with full ray tracing. Disabled, it supports up to 120 FPS, averaging 90 FPS on high refresh rate displays. We spent a lot of time on optimization, and this had fan base truly excited, because this basically it kind of shows that the PS5 Pro will be the best place to play Resident Evil 9. Well, on console, I doubt it's gonna be as good like if it was on PC. But for console wise, it's definitely going to be the best place to play. And the fact they spend a lot of time on optimization and stuff, it looks like it's going to be that great game that everybody hopes it to be. The fact at 120 FPS when you disable ray tracing and stuff, man, I don't know. I honestly don't believe a game like Resident Evil need to be that high of frame rate, but it's nice to have the option if you want to do that. Of course, some people bring up what will be the resolution and stuff like that. We don't know. We just gotta wait and see. I'm thinking at least 1440p. That will be upscaled to 4K at 90 FPS and stuff, but we don't know for sure. Of course, we have some other gaming interviews and previews. This includes from Game Informer, and they managed to sit down with the devs behind 3 games that are set to release at some time in the future. We have Judas, Clockwork Evolution, and what was the last one? Crap. What was the last one? It is crap. Crimson Desert is up there also, but it was Judas, Clockwork Evolution, and Control. God, don't know why that was messing me up. But anyway, these are what was said in the interview, starting with Judas. If you don't know what Judas is, this is a game that is being created by the team that did the BioShock. And in the previews, it was said that Ken Levin, most reactive game yet, decided exactly how to proceed with the story, who to trust, and how to deal with the consequences. Characters will respond to your exact sequence of actions down to the smallest detail. This system took 5 years of R&D to develop. The villainy feature is a system where depending on how you act towards characters, they can hate you, like you, then hate you again. Due to the villainy system, it's impossible to please everyone. One of the characters will become your antagonist. We're really eager to see players experience that and see which of characters become fan favorites. They want to build a Judas simulator and really place you in a character's shoes. Levin says development is progressing well and the team is heads down onto the next milestone. They recently dropped a dev blog with more to come soon. Then, as we approach launch, you can expect trailers among other announcements. It sounds like they are getting close to getting to that finish line and stuff. If you want to read the interview, I will post it in the description below. But what do you guys say? Are you guys excited for Judas, and were you a fan of the BioShock games? Let me know in the comments below. Now we're going to proceed to the next game from the Game Informer interview, and that will be from Clockwork Evolution. Alright, the preview for Clockwork Revolution says rabbits got a gun. It said you either got a gang at your back or a knife in it, and NXile has made clear that it wants you to feel like an Avalon that its eyes on you. From those in the slums to the nobles and business people in the Golden Mansions, presumably like Lady Ironwood. Right now we are focused on making sure the game responds to player choices in a natural way. We want every choice to lead to moments that feel personal, surprising, and true to the story that shape it. NXile priority is to make Avalon feel alive and responsive so players can sense the city shift around their decisions in ways that feel intuitive, immersive, and unequivocally theirs. The biggest thing for us is the depth of the visual reactivity. When you go back in time in Clockwork Evolution and change something, you're not just opening a new branch. You coming back to a present that had been physically reshaped around those choices. Avalon has been handcrafted to reflect those changes in ways that feel surprising and earned. It reacts to what you've done in ways that you just don't see in many other games. Clockwork Revolution game director Chad Morey. So, Clockwork Revolutions definitely sound a very interesting game. So far it is coming out for the Xbox and PC, and also going to be on Game Pass when it eventually launch. To my knowledge, I don't know if it was set to come out this year. It possibly can, but we just gotta wait and see. But what do you guys think? Are you guys excited for Clockwork Revolution? Because I believe we saw this last year during the Xbox show event. So if you're looking forward to it, I can't wait. We can't wait to see what more they got cooking. Now we're up to the developers, Remedy, and their game Control Resonant, which is a sequel to the Control series. These are the new details from the previews with Game Informer was said. It takes place 7 years after Control, playing as Dylan Fadden. You awaken from a coma. Jesse Fadden, who has mysteriously disappeared, which is the woman from the first game Control who you play as in that one. Your new melee weapon is called the Aberrant. Open-ended but not open world. The Hiss have escaped the oldest house. You must save Manhattan. Where Control was an action-adventure game, Resonant is an action RPG with more meaningful progression and real choices, distinctive builds. Of course, there's more to this preview with Game Informer, so I will post a link in the description below in case you want to look at all these interviews and what was said during the previews for these games. But now we're gonna move on to the last one, which is by Portal Abyss when it comes to Crimson Desert that's set to release on March 19th. Okay, Portal Abyss has released a 15-minute long gameplay overview for Crimson Desert, going over what you could experience in this world and what you'll be able to do and how big it is. All this good stuff they put in this 15-minute video. But they did say they will have another video which will go over the combat, the gameplay, and stuff that you'll be able to do in Crimson Desert, which I'm definitely going to be looking forward to because I'm kind of curious what else this guy could do. Alright, but in this 15-minute video, these are the bullet points of the new details that we learned. It says, seamless open world filled with natural beauty, bustling cities, ancient ruins, danger lurks in all corners, rival factions, hostile forces, a realm called the Abyss. You play as Cliff, which is the main dude that we've been seeing through gameplay, trailers, and advertisements. He is a formidable warrior of the Grey Manes. Your journey begins with reuniting the surviving Grey Manes to rebuild the faction and reclaim your homeland. Fragments of the Abyss are falling to the lands below. The story of the game centers on Cliff. 2 additional playable characters become available during gameplay. Freely explore the world, undertake many quests outside the main story. Each character has their own combat style, unique skills, and weapons. The world is made up of 5 regions. Harnad, rich with mountains and rivers. Kowloon, homeland of the Grey Manes. Demonis, political and military state. Delicia, forefront of science and technology. Crimson Desert, a arid expanse of red sands. Funny. Content is full of tales, hidden challenges, large-scale objectives like reclaiming fortresses. Battle familiar foes, help residents with everyday tasks. Friendly and hostile factions. Faction quests will be helpful in your character progression. Meet new merchants. There is much that will destroy your curiosity. There is much that will draw your curiosity. There is no strict path. You could go pretty much anywhere that captures your interest. Climb and glide. Gain access to a missile-firing mech that we have seen in previous gameplays and stuff. The game holds many mysteries, forgotten ruins, hidden secrets, enigmatic puzzles. There is a Zelda Ultra Hand ability. Fast travel locations. Gain knowledge about wildlife, skills, items, and interact with the NPCs. Explore new areas and observe it from afar. This knowledge will provide clues to completing quests or new skills and other guidance. And lastly, like I said before, more info coming about combat progression and life in Pywell. Alright, that was a lot of stuff from this 15-minute gameplay. I will post the link to the official video so you can look out for yourself, because there's most likely definitely a lot more stuff that was not for what I said, but I strongly suggest you look out for yourself. And Crimson Desert looks like a truly amazing game, but all this stuff that we're seeing from it and stuff, people's like, it's like hard to believe is like this is like a real thing, which in my opinion I kind of tend to agree, because like all this stuff that they're showing from it is like there's no way we'd be able to do all of this stuff in this game. And it's like I'm really hoping it is a really good game and stuff. I definitely want to get it. I'm just hoping the story is good. Like through everything that they show mostly gameplay. Freaking freaking monsters. That's freaking fire. So it's like they showed us a whole bunch of gameplay. The only thing I just need to worry about is um, the game is very stable when it comes to the frame rate and stuff, and the story is really interesting. Like, that's why I'm just hoping for this game, because they already showed us a whole bunch of gameplay. I don't need to see any more gameplay stuff. Like, without spoilers, show me stuff from the story and show me how it will run. Cause I right now I have the PS5 Pro. I'm really hoping the PS5 Pro will handle this game in a good stable frame rate, because the world looks beautiful from the gameplay. So here's hoping. I'm now I think about, I'm kind of curious. I wonder how would this game be if you could create your own character. Yeah, but playing as a character that's focused on the story of basically play a role in the story is all fine also and stuff. But I can't wait to see more, and when they eventually show the gameplay progression and stuff. I'm kind of curious, will you be able to buy a house and stuff? I'm kind of hoping, because like this game coming out, Fable also, and of course when it comes to a game like that, you got the reigning champion, freaking Witcher, when it comes to games like this. So literally, look at Crimson Desert. It gives me Game of Thrones vibe from it, like straight up. But when it comes to the whole mech suit and stuff, I'm like, okay, kind of throw out the whole Game of Thrones things out of the water. But it's like, it still is, especially how you look. You're basically called a gray man's like. That kind of sounds like a faction that's in the Witcher universe. So I can't wait to see more, and I'm definitely it's definitely on my list to get and stuff for this year. I'm kind of hoping I'll be able to play through everything, because that map is freaking outrageous. Okay, we gotta end off this video with two new Chinese developed games that are coming out at some point into the future. One of them is from the China Hero project that Sony have been working with Chinese developers to bring their games to the wider range of audiences. And one just randomly shadow dropped, honestly. But the one that was randomly shadow dropped is set to release in 2028. So it's going to be a long while before you even get that game. But the other one, you can actually wishlist it right now on the PS5. I don't know if you could also wishlist it on the PC. But you probably can at this point if you could wishlist it on the PS5. But both, the one that you can wishlist on the PS5 is only available on the PS5 and PC, and the other one, it's going to be PC and PlayStation. I don't think it's coming to Xbox. So yeah, kind of unfortunate with that one. But the first one we're going to be talking about, it is the game called A Whisper of Fall Jinwei. If you like to see both trailers for yourselves, I will post a link to them in the description below. But anyway, A Whisper of Fall Jinwei is a martial arts themed action RPG. Single player, play as an ordinary boatman who becomes an undercover agent for the black market. Set in ancient China, infiltrate Jinwei Imperial Guards for the Ming Dynasty. Use your agility to leap between rooftops and vault over walls. Spectacular martial arts duels, unique deduction ability to travel through time. Sandbox style levels, overlapping possibilities. Part of the PlayStation Hero project that I spoke of before. It's coming to the PS5 and PC. You could wishlist it right now, but of course, we have no confirmed release date when this game will be released. But for what they showed off and stuff, it does look really cool, especially if you're a fan of those wuxia martial arts type of game. And I'm kind of happy we're starting to get a whole bunch of those because, of course, some people say, "Oh, all these games look like the same and stuff," which, in my opinion, like I wish people would stop saying stuff like that because these are the same type of people that be okay getting like the same type of sports game, the same type of Call of Duty and stuff. I like the same type of battle royale. I'm truly happy that we're getting something different, like when it comes to play styles and stuff. Like, yeah, we got a couple of these. We don't even have that much wuxia type of games anyway. Like, we have Black Myth Wukong, which would be considered like a Souls game and stuff. But it's like we're now starting to get like wuxia type of games, especially like Phantom Blade Zero that's set to release September of this year. We don't have a release date for this one. We're also getting the game Godslayer, which is a game that I've been waiting for the longest to hear more about. We have seen like a gameplay trailer of that one, so that's on my most anticipated list. We're now getting this one, and for what I see, this thing looking crazy cool. Like, some people would say it kind of does give out the feel of Phantom Blade Zero to some type of extent, and I can't wait to see what more this game has for us. And lastly, we have Gengi Gods Neza. If you don't know who Neza is, it's one of the Chinese mythology gods. And I truly recommend you kind of check out some anime movies that came out evolving around Neza. You got the Neza 1 and 2 that came out, which the second one blew up like crazy. And if I remember right, Netflix should have like a movie called Neza Reborn. I truly recommend you guys watch that one also. But besides that, this is a brand new game. It is, well, the story of it evolve around you play as a spirit Pearl, who is a reincarnation of Neza that was created by the goddess of creation, Nuwa. It said players navigate ruined world with the god Pangu sleeps and 10 suns scorch the earth. The journey evolves, evolving from a celestial artifact into a human form, accompanied by the heart of the sacred water. The combat is be water philosophy. Combat emphasizes adaptability, allowing for seamless stance switching and focus on reactive, high precision, and defensive maneuvers. At first glance of the gameplay, you probably think it's a Souls game, which I believe it has Souls-like type of things, but it's not like a traditional Souls game. Like they're probably gonna be like a thing you can set the difficulty of the game and stuff. For what I could tell, there's like no stamina bar and stuff. Of course, the UI is probably not even finished yet, so take what I say with a grain of salt. But it continues saying techniques. Moves include the 1-inch flash for breaking armor and the dragon kick for crowd control. Players can use a relic fusion system to combine mythical artifacts. The game features colossal boss fights where players must climb on massive mountainside deities to attack them. It will be developed on the Unreal Engine 5 engine. The game is slated for PlayStation 5 and PC, with specialized features for the PS5 such as DualSense haptic and 3D audio, which is nice. and the game is set to release sometime in 2028. I don't believe this game is on like the PlayStation Store to wishlist and stuff, but it does have its own Steam page. So, what do you guys think? I'm truly liking these games that coming out and stuff, especially we're getting Chinese focused type of games, especially the developers who worked on Black Myth Wukong is making their brand new game as of this moment. We got this game, we got a Whispered Jin Wei, we got Godslayer. Like these type of wuxia type of games and stuff, Phantom Blade Zero, we can't forget about that one. The fact they're coming out and stuff, like fans of this type of Chinese movie with the combat and stuff, people who gonna be learning more of Chinese gods and stuff, like we're in for a treat. Like the gameplay looking crazy good, and I can't wait to see more of this. It's definitely gonna be on a list of games that I'm gonna be looking out for. So I leave it to you guys. What do you guys think? Are you guys excited for more of these type of Chinese type of games, or are you probably getting tired of seeing them basically thinking they all play the same way? And do any of the previews from Game Informer got you even more excited for the games that we have coming out? Let me know in the comments below. This is Storm. I'll catch you guys in the next video, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Please leave, like, share, and comment below, and peace out.